the nature of this attempted murder is not something, any country should consider, because it was highly dangerous in a public explosives in a public place in Europe is not something anyone should be doing, any country, including Russia, but unfortunately, they're known to do that.
A Ukrainian tycoon who has been sanctioned by Kyiv is thought to have been badly injured after a bomb went off in Monaco. His wife and 13-year-old son were also reported to have been hurt. Now, I've been talking to Igor Novikov, who's a former advisor to President Volodymyr Zelensky, and he told me more about Vadym Yermolaiev.
Well, from what I know, because obviously I didn't know him and I don't know too much about his business, but he is one of the Ukraine's so-called mini oligarchs. So he's a rich person, he's well off, but at the same time, he's not one of the richest people in Ukraine. He comes from Dnipro, and the city of Dnipro, and he was a real estate developer above the waterline. Below the waterline, obviously, there have been rumors about shady deals, call centers, scammer call centers, and so on and so forth. He made his money in Ukraine. After the annexation of Crimea, he refused to sell or give up his businesses and started paying taxes in Russia. He exited the Ukrainian citizenship, allegedly, I think, in 2019. And since then, he was the national of Cyprus, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the outline of a man. Is he a high-profile target for either Ukraine or Russia or anyone else? I doubt it. So definitely not on Ukraine's list of people to go after.
So Igor, this is a man who is a very rich man, a mini oligarch, you say, who thrived under Russian rule in Crimea. Well, I mean, Kyiv will not be too sorry then to see him come to harm in this way.
I think the right kind of statement here would be that outside of the normal scope of Ukraine's foreign affairs, i.e. trying to figure out whether he still holds or doesn't hold the Ukrainian citizenship, and what is the current status of the sanction, because he was sanctioned in 2023 by Ukraine. Outside of that, I don't think anyone would care that much. This is not, to give you some background to better understand the situation, this is not the first instance of, criminal hit jobs globally that involve Ukrainian, Russian, or Eastern European call centers, scammers, and organized crime. The most recent incident happened in Bali, in Indonesia, where a son of a crime lord from Dnipro as well was kidnapped and murdered with ransom videos and so on and so forth. It was a very high-profile case. Ukraine was paying attention, the general public, to that, but mainly because of the fate that the fate that man had, not for the reasons of geopolitics or politics,
yes,
or anything like that. So it's a criminal case. Unfortunately and tragically, I think this trend will continue because the current state of technology and globalization, in that sense, makes it very easy to make those attempts at somebody's life, regardless of the borders. So unfortunately, this crime is tragic, but it's not the last instance in Europe, I would say.
Tell me, Igor, then, I mean, how strong is organized crime in Ukraine? Is there a single powerful mafia kind of organization? Is there a network of organized crime organizations?
Well, they don't have a Wikipedia page, as you can imagine, so anything is like hearsay and so on and so forth. But I wouldn't say that Ukraine is like at the top of the list. I think it's the situation very similar to any Eastern European country in that sense. Obviously, with nuances brought about by the war. So the access to guns and everything is easier, tragically nowadays, and explosives. And also on top of that, we must remember that apart from the organized crime, there's also Russia. Russia is known for its false flag operations, for different kinds of psychological operations. So I wouldn't discount Russian involvement just yet, but to me it seems like, just organized crime doing its thing.
So that is interesting. A moment ago, you said that this is not the sort of man who would see the Ukrainian, I don't know, agencies, Secret Service, whoever, mark as a target. They wouldn't wish to go after someone like this, you said. Who and what sort of person would be in that category, Igor?
Well, there's a very important kind of statement I want to make here. The nature of this attempted murder is not something, any country should consider, because it was highly dangerous in the public, explosives in the public place in Europe is not something anyone should be doing, any country, including Russia, but unfortunately, they're known to do that.
And this man's wife and son were hurt too, of course.
Yeah. So kind of to even consider, the Ukrainian involvement here is ridiculous, because that would be detrimental to our path to Europe, and also it would be very bad for a public image. So, and we don't do those kinds of things, and definitely don't blow up hotel entrances or whatever. So, as far as Russia is concerned, that's a possibility. But that definitely no confirmed hit list. I mean, Ukraine does kind of take people prisoner to face justice, and that's kind of the scope of what we do.
Okay, so no such thing, you say, as a hit list, a legitimate target for an assassination.
Even historically, I mean, if you think about it, if you take Israel, for example, or the United States, or any even Western country, regardless of the target, blowing up a public square in Europe is not something Western intelligence had been doing, and should be doing. So, and we're part of the Western world.
Yes, I mean, there's been a particular case of a Ukrainian killed in Spain last May, wasn't it? It was suggested that might have been committed by the state of Ukraine.
Well, I mean, I can't neither confirm or deny, because I don't have that information. No. But at least, even that murder, as tragic as it was different, because, as far as I remember, that man was shot. So once again, blowing up explosives in the middle of Europe is something Al-Qaeda would do, not Ukraine.